sorts of them out there, right? Rail, TMC, Maverick.
Morning, guys. Welcome back to another one. Still haven't came up with a name for this crap yet. But whatever it is, welcome back to it. It is a new day. I'm leaving Smyrna, Georgia, and headed over to Austell, Georgia, for a live load, which I'm taking to Duluth. So not very far, and I figured there might be something kind of interesting that I can do with the roads, or do on the roads, like make a special interesting kind of route or something. Bye. She always waves at me. She didn't that time. Guess because I got a camera on my head. I don't come here very often, but yeah, it's a trip to Smyrna from McDonough. It's not far, so I didn't film it. It's just a quick skip up 75 to 285 and then go around the west side. It's a few exits up above the I-20 interchange. But to get to Austell, to avoid 285, I'm going to turn right at this intersection down here, which is Marietta Street, I think. Marietta Road, sorry. And go south all the way down to 78, which will get you to Austell, but that requires going down there to like Bankhead and then making a right on 78. Traffic's already bad. But I'm thinking, you know, I'm just thinking about how I can get from Austell to Duluth without getting on the interstate. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm gonna look at it a little bit closer whenever I am getting loaded here in Austell or over there in Austell. It's only going to take about 20 minutes. Well, it's probably going to take longer than that from the way that I'm going, but maybe half an hour or so, I would think. The sun might be kind of bad in just a second. Might have to put my visor down. It's just after 8 on a Tuesday morning, June 27th. Got the right lane closed up here. Oh, this is gonna be fun. They're doing road work up here at Plant Atkinson. Look, it's another four-wheeler doing dumb stuff. They're special because they drive a German car. They don't have to sit in traffic. They have special privileges because they drive an Audi. it's all in their contract that they sign when they purchase the vehicle, that they don't have to sit in traffic. Oh yeah, they're doing some special work right here on the bridge, I guess. It's a bit hazy this morning, but you can see the outlines of the buildings in downtown Atlanta from here. Or I can, at least. I used to work over here off of Marietta Boulevard. It was about 5 years ago now, when I worked for Schneider. So that's the company that I started with like 7 years ago. I've had my CDL for 7 years, you guys. It'll be 7 years at the beginning of next month, so like next week. Still doing it. I didn't think traffic was going to be this bad. This is crazy. I smell something too, and it stinks. It smells like burnt toast. Well, there is a wastewater treatment plant right there. Maybe that's what I'm smelling. But they usually smell way worse than what I'm smelling. What I'm smelling, it smells like Mom was running late and she burned the toast. And there's something going on up here in the left lane. There's a pickup truck dropped some cargo on the road. They're desperately, frantically trying to pick it up, while people desperately, frantically try to come into the right lane and get around me and use this as an excuse to get in front of me. But I'm just gonna keep moving. People are getting kind of pushy. See, I gotta draw the line somewhere. I can't let all of you get in front of me, or otherwise I'm never gonna move. I'm never gonna get anywhere. So can you deal with getting behind me? I'm sure the person behind me wouldn't mind letting you over. Oh, they dropped water, like a crap ton of water on the road. That sucks. Okay, this is Marietta Boulevard. No, it's not. I'm wrong. I'm usually wrong. It's further down. This is Bolton Road right here. No trucks on Bolton Road. You see the dilemma I've got though, right? I'm trying to make a video. I'm trying to make it interesting and show you. I'm trying to hold your attention so that you don't click off of the video and go to something else. But it's kind of hard to do that with all the backup, you know? Because as long as I'm just sitting here, it is pretty boring. They've changed this area a lot in the past 5 years. It doesn't look nearly as bad as it used to. They put a bunch of new apartments in, and they're trying to upgrade the road. It used to be pretty bad going through here. The road was awful. It might still be up here because we're gonna cross over an intersection with Marietta Boulevard, and then on the other side of that, we're just gonna go straight through. And by the time we do that, we're gonna be getting pretty close to 78. Very slow moving truck up here is loaded. He's climbing. I'm just gonna stay in the right lane though, because yeah, I'm not in a hurry. In fact, I've got until 11 to get loaded, and the appointment where I'm taking it in Duluth, it doesn't, like, the window doesn't start until 1300. So this is actually going to be a drawn out kind of day where I'm not going to be driving very far, but I'm going to have to be sitting and waiting on this place to receive their freight. There's only 8, and the delivery time isn't until, you know, after 1300. Size matters. Dr. Penis, Atlanta's #1 male surgical enhancement. Wow. That's what that billboard said. This truck just got over. I'm wondering why. Maybe he's gonna turn left up here or something. I'm like making the GPS go crazy. It doesn't know what the crap I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stay on the truck roads, GPS. That's what I'm trying to do. I know you wouldn't know anything about that, but yeah. Yeah, it looks so different now than it used to coming through here. It's almost unrecognizable in some parts. Because I used to come through here all the time. I worked dedicated for Westrock, and they used to have a big warehouse on Marietta Boulevard, where when we finally get to that intersection I'm talking about, you turn left and you go down about a mile or so, and it was on the right. Well, they sold the property. They're no longer there, but you know, I worked there for a good 9 months or so. So I was always on these roads, you know, coming back and forth from like Alabama, paper mill, you know. Yeah, okay, the road's still really screwed up around here. That's bad. But here's the intersection. I don't think I'm gonna make that light. Nope. I'm still wrong. This is still not the dang intersection. Here it is. Okay. Lovely sound there. You guys see that train track down there? The multiple train tracks? Multiple trains. So yeah, you just turn left at that light and it's down there. But now we're headed down toward Bankhead. Well, at least they repaved this road. This was the worst road out of anywhere else. I mean, it was awful. Terrible road. And as you guys obviously know, US 78 is a federally funded road. So the federal government pays for it and pays for the maintenance on it. But this part of 78 that we're about to get onto, maybe they've improved it. Because like I said, I don't come through here very often, but it used to be just in terrible shape. And the lanes were so narrow in certain parts of it that, I mean, you'd be hanging out on both sides of your lane. And the thing to do on this road is definitely get in the center lane. You definitely want to do that. Main reason why is because of the sidewalks and stuff. I'm gonna get over in the left lane in just a minute, but I mean, you don't really have to right here, but we're gonna come up to a fork in the road up here, and I have to get over into that left lane to take the left side of the fork. Oh yeah, and they improved, or they just added a lot to it. Like that building right there, it wasn't there before. Trying to let everybody get around me so that I can go ahead and get over. Because it is, you see how narrow this is, right? Sorry, I have to get over. I can't ride in that right lane. It's too narrow. And of course they'd be turning left as soon as I get behind them. That's the kind of luck I have. They have improved it a little bit coming through here. It used to just be like really ran down and the road was in pretty bad shape, but it's not as bad as it used to be. And they're still like building new buildings and stuff around here. I know you guys probably can't see it, but there's a guy in that parking lot over there, and he's like feeding pigeons. See that guy? what this is gonna do is essentially it's gonna take me to 285, which I'm gonna cross over. But right there at the exit at 285, that's where the Petro truck stop is in Atlanta, the big one that you have to pay to park at. It's off of this road. I'll show it to you. I've got a truck coming up in the right lane. He's gonna try to pass me in the right lane. Good luck, buddy. I want to see you try. It's a Schneider truck too. Come on, Schneider, you ought to know better than to drive in that right lane like that. You see the guy? I mean, he is bobtailing, but still, that close to the dang sidewalk, I wouldn't do it. Now, I remember the summer that I did work out of that Westrock warehouse, and we had drivers up here in Atlanta running paper loads, and then we had drivers in like Lynette, Alabama running them. And so we would just cross paths all day, every day. And one of the drivers out of Lynette was coming through here, and he came up on this intersection we're about to come up to, and this car just like pulled out right in front of him. He had a green light, the car was turning left. He had the right of way, and the car just pulled out in front of him, and he couldn't stop because the guy driving the car did it so fast that, you know, he just didn't have time to react, and he nailed him. Took him out. I mean, the guy was messed up. But it turns out he was like on heroin. The guy that pulled out in front of the truck driver I'm talking about. And it was at this intersection right here. I had to give him a ride back to Alabama because it messed his truck up really bad too. But the car was turning left at this intersection and just pulled right out in front of him. He was coming from this way, like the oncoming side. Now, I'm sort of familiar with Austell, but not extremely familiar with it. I know that, you know, 78 will cross paths with 278, like Thornton Road. I think that's what it's called. If you keep going west from here, you're going to come up on Thornton Road, which is US 278. But our turnoff road that this place is off of, it's before that. And that's pretty much all I know about it. I've never picked anything up in Austell before, so not super familiar with the area. I know that they're really strict about the speed limits there. They've got like signs all over the place, like speed limit 35 strictly enforced kind of deal. But here's the Petro truck stop. Very congested area. Trucks like to pull out in front of you right here, coming out or going in, either or. we got a red light. But yeah, I can get back over in the right lane now. I just didn't want to be in it back there where the lanes were so narrow. There is a rail yard back there. Remember I was showing you guys the train tracks? This truck, you see the truck over there on the other side of the intersection? He's got his left turn signal on. He's not in the left turning lane, but he's got his left turn. Okay. For a second there, I thought he was going to pull into the autos only entrance of the truck stop. But yeah, there's another city between here and Austell. It's called Mableton. We're gonna go through it. And on my main channel, I am known to sometimes film cemeteries, like interesting old cemeteries, and there's one in Mableton on the right up here that looks pretty interesting. I actually read a little bit about it when I just made a video a couple months ago going to Oakland Cemetery. There it is. That's one of them, but I think there's another one like a little bit further down. Oakland Cemetery in Atlanta, which is really cool and interesting and everything. But I read a little bit about the cemetery here in Mableton from that cemetery, and ever since I read about it, I've been wanting to go and check it out. I didn't know that road right there was Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Interesting. This place pretty much stays packed out. The roads, there's always traffic on these roads. Unless it's like 2 o'clock in the morning or something. I would also come over here when I started working for First Fleet a couple years ago. I was also dedicated for that company, Westrock, then too. And they have a customer over here, Crystal Springs, where we would bring them like boxes and stuff. There's a Crystal Springs truck right there. He's coming from that warehouse I'm talking about. I used to go there all the time from Covington. Sometimes multiple times a day, which sucked. I don't miss that job. It was terrible. The pay was so bad and the hours were so bad. Like the length of the shift that you work. And you didn't make any extra money to work more hours. It was so stupid the way that they had their payment set up for the way they paid their jobbers. It was ridiculous. Like, it was just like obviously set up to rip truck drivers off, and it just sucked. It was like the worst truck driving job I've ever had. First Fleet. But see, it wasn't even like I was just a standard driver. I was a dedicated driver. So I don't know how they pay their standard drivers, like their over the road type drivers, but yeah, that particular account that they have with Westrock sucks. Such a ripoff. I mean, it was so bad they couldn't retain drivers. They went through drivers like constantly, because as soon as you started working there, you realized it was a dead end. You're not going to make any money. Regardless of how hard you work, you're going to make the same amount every week, so there's no point in working that hard if you're not going to make extra money to do it. can't believe how long it took to get over here. That's crazy. Like 40 minutes. Almost. By the time we get there. There's a huge cemetery right there. Okay, we're getting closer, only like 4.5 miles away from the place now. But I have to make an interesting set of turns up here. I have to make a right, and then I have to make an immediate left at like a busy intersection. And I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough space to make the turn or not. It's the bad part about it. I was looking, because the road that I'm trying to get onto, it kind of splits off a little bit from 78. I was looking at it. It looks like there might be like a secondary road a little bit further down that does the same thing, and I'm hoping maybe that one won't be as busy, but I don't know for sure. Just gonna have to wait and see. Like really, like scan the intersection on the right side to see how backed up it is. If it's backed up, then I'm not going to be able to go the way that the GPS wants me to go, which sucks. I'm hoping that the intersection I'm talking about, I'm hoping that it's bigger than I'm picturing it as. If it's big, then it might not be that big of a deal, but if it's smaller, I don't know. And there might be a no truck sign saying I can't get on the road too, but I kind of have to get on it to get to where I need to be. 2 miles. This is Austell city limits right here. No, I'm just gonna try to do this in sort of slow motion a little bit, because I have to determine if what I'm trying to do is deemed feasible or not. And it's going to take a little bit of time for me to look at the space that's available at this intersection. I got my tandems all the way up, so that's good. That'll help. Hopefully it won't be that big of a deal. That's a cool looking bridge right there. Train trestle. Half a mile. Yeah, there's their speed limit, 35 strictly enforced. Okay, there's that couple of traffic lights. 0.2 of a mile. Here's the intersection coming up at the second traffic light. Okay, what do we got here? Says I can't turn right there or I'll get a $1,000 fine. So it's not that one. Jeez. And this one says the same thing. So what the hell? How am I supposed to get to this place? This is crazy. How do you get to this place? No trucks. I guess I'm gonna have to go out to 278, turn right, and do like a big U-turn, sort of. Because if I come out here to 78 or 278, make a right, go up, I'm gonna come across the intersection with Humphreys Hill. You need a way for trucks to get through there instead of having to go all the way, like way out of the way to get to where they need to go. Yeah, I don't like this part of 278 we're about to have to get on. I hate this part of 278. It is awful. It's also Georgia 6. I can't freaking stand it. Thornton Road. That's what I was talking about earlier. Can't even see anything. I mean, it looks like they have, yeah, they got a green light. I could have went, but I couldn't tell because that left arrow was red. This road right here is so busy all day, every day. This road is like packed out. All right, I think the light turned red. Maybe not. No, it's red. Okay. One mile on the right, Humphreys Hill. Okay. Alright, I don't see any no trucks on, so that's good. That means I'm probably gonna have to go back the same way that I came and go get back on freaking Thornton Road. It's half a mile up here on the right. So I'm coming in from the opposite way that I planned, so that means I'm gonna go into the first entrance instead of the second one. Yeah. Okay, we got this. Just took a little bit longer than expected. A little bit more of a pain in the butt than anticipated. I don't think I've ever been on this road before. I'm pretty sure I haven't. There's a terminal right there for like a carrier. Grief. God. You want to work for a truck driving company called Grief? I'm good. I have enough of that already. I don't want to work for a company that's going to give me more of it. Wow, what a name for a truck driving company. Grief. Okay. Gate 2 shipping and receipt. This is it right here. I just had to pull in here and weigh on that scale. I'll probably film it on the way out because I got to weigh out too. But this might be an interesting back right here, sort of. She said the back end of door 4. I guess it's the one next to that container right there. So that's what I'm trying to get into. It's a blonde side back. Not bad though. I think I just shifted it too much though. I gotta fix that. There we go. It's like a halfway blonde side back. Okay. Let's see what we can do. I might have to adjust it again. I don't know if you guys can see any of this, but I'm trying to look in my passenger side flat mirror to make sure that I'm lined up with the line on the passenger side. Kind of a weird situation I got here. See, it looks like I'm straight from that side, but from this side, I'm like way off. See if I can fix it a little bit better. See, now if I can kind of do it on the sight side a little bit, maybe I can fix it the rest of the way. But see, they've got lines painted on the asphalt, but the lines are not straight. So it's a little misleading as far as being able to tell how straight you are with the dock, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to at least be straight enough so that they can set the dock plate on the trailer deck, you know? I don't know what they're loading me with either. This is the first time we've ever come to this place. They didn't tell me to slide my tandems back, so I'm just hoping it's not something heavy. I really don't know though. There we go. Okay, let's check out this route. Well guys, I just took a real hard long gander at the GPS, the truck GPS and maps, Google Maps, and as much as I don't want to admit this, I think I'm better off taking the interstate to get to Duluth from here. Main reason is I looked at the truck GPS, what it looks like, and it's like it takes you way out of the way, like 2 or 3 times. You're veering off course here and veering off course there. In the interstate, it's more of like a direct route. So as much as I don't want to take the interstate, I know that I'm better off doing it. In this case, in this area, from point A to point B, the interstate is the solution. I would just be way too overcomplicating things to try to take a secondary road, highways or whatever to do this. So I'm just gonna jump. I'm gonna basically go back where I just came from, backtrack to 285, and then get on 285 north and go around to 85, and then just go up 85. And once you're on 85, it doesn't take that long to get to Duluth. But what I might do is, on my way back to McDonough, I might, in fact, I know I will. I'll end up taking the back roads on my way back to McDonough for sure. But to get to this place, no, it's not worth it. It would take way too long, and it would just take me way too far out of the way. So, sorry about that, but you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to make the intelligent choice here. So let's do it. They're still loading me right now, which I'm pretty sure that once they're done, I'm gonna have to jump off of this dock and go jump back on to that scale over there before they'll even give me my paperwork, because they got to know how much product they're loading onto the trailer so that they know how much to bill the receiver. But yeah, we'll get to it when we get there. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Okay. Pulling up on the scale now. It's a narrow scale. Okay guys, well, I figured some stuff out. Figured out, first of all, what I'm hauling. I'm practically deaf now after going into that place. It's like electronic stuff. I guess it's like recycling of electronics, like circuit boards and stuff like that. But they have like crushers inside that warehouse, and they're like just crushing the stuff up, and it was so freaking loud. I feel like I have hearing damage now, like hearing loss, because it was so loud in there. I mean, they just had the stuff like running on a conveyor through like crushers and stuff, and it was so freaking loud. So I figured out that's what I'm hauling, and I got about 15,000 pounds of it. Next thing I figured out is I'm gonna have to call my dispatcher on the way and make sure it's okay for me to show up early, because my appointment window, like I said before, it doesn't start until 1300. But if I take the interstate and I get there, then, you know, I'm gonna get there like 2 hours early. So they might have a problem with that. If they do, I need to know ahead of time. That way I can stop somewhere else, like on the way, and just wait, which sucks. I mean, they really need to pay me if they expect me to just sit in the truck for 2 extra hours and, you know, just twiddle my thumbs. So I'm gonna have to call and make sure that everything's good on that end, and that I'm actually able to come in early. Or if nothing else, that they have a spot for me to sit and park for a couple of hours until my appointment actually comes. Otherwise, you know, I might show up early, they might not like that. They might tell me I have to leave, and then I'm kind of like on the spot, like trying to figure out where I'm gonna go park in Duluth and sit there for 2 hours, which doesn't sound like an easy task to me. It's a very busy city, and they're not, I mean, there's probably like terminals and stuff there for trucking companies, but there's probably nowhere for me to just go and park legally for a couple of hours. So I gotta figure this out. I'm gonna call them real quick and see. And if he's like, nah, you gotta wait till 1, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, you gotta pay me $50 for detention pay for the 2 hours that I'm just gonna be sitting in my truck. Okay, so I'll get back with you in just a bit. So this is the most hectic part of 285 in my opinion. The portion between 75, 85 on the north side. There's a big work zone up here that we're gonna come into in a minute. It's been there for years and just major construction. I think it's somewhere right around where the exit for 400 is. But the lanes, I think they actually improved the lanes, but a couple years ago when you go through that work zone, those lanes are so narrow. It's almost like being on the GW Bridge in the Bronx. That's about how wide the lanes were. This dumpster guy, he's coming into my lane a little bit. He's also blocking the interstate too. He's driving slow in the center. You're driving slow in the center, man. Slower traffic, keep right. If I'm passing you on the right, come on. So I called dispatch, and see there's the exit for 402 miles. And here comes the work zone. So I called my dispatcher. I let him know, hey, I'm gonna be there a couple hours early. Is that okay? And he said that he'd have to call me back and let me know. Well, I haven't heard anything from him, so I'm just gonna keep heading that way. And well, if they're surprised that I'm there early, then they're, you know, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna do? I mean, they'll probably say you're gonna have to wait. I don't think they'll make me leave, but then again, they might, because the place isn't huge, and I guess it all just depends on how busy they are. Did you guys know that Georgia 400 is also US Route 19? Like after it splits from 41? I gotta get over it. Yeah, here's that work zone right here. So what city is this? Is this Roswell? Because I always thought that this right here was considered Dunwoody, where we're going. But I guess Dunwoody is like further east. And this might be Roswell right here. Man. Yeah, they definitely made the lanes wider than they used to be. They were so small. A couple of videos ago, I was trying to tell you guys that some portions of 285 during some parts of the day actually flow pretty good, and it all has to do with the traffic pattern. Well, look at how we're moving right here, but then on the other side, in that direction, it's bumper to bumper, you know? Look at this work zone, it's crazy. A lot of work, and they've been working on this for years. North Lake Mall is around here somewhere. I know it's really random, but I used to, like when I was a little kid, I used to come up here with my mom, and she would take us to, my sisters and my mom, she'd take us to North Lake Mall. And then this other mall in Gwinnett County, it was before they made the Mall of Georgia, and it was Gwinnett Place Mall. And that's actually where they filmed season 3 of Stranger Things. Like, believe it or not, Starcourt Mall from the show is Gwinnett Place Mall, which is pretty crazy. But an even stranger thing than that is that a few years ago, you know, because malls are starting to die out, right? They're starting to get abandoned. Everybody's shopping online now. So some of the malls, even around here, are going under, and they're just, the shops are just vacating and they're leaving because they're not making enough money. The mall itself was still open at the time, so you could go there, but there weren't but maybe just a handful of shops left in the mall, and the rest of it was just empty space. And apparently they found a body in the food court of Gwinnett Place Mall. You can look it up. It was like a teenage girl, I think, or maybe early 20s, and nobody knows what happened to her, but they found her body in the food court at Gwinnett Place Mall. And this was probably like 2018, maybe, somewhere around in there. It's pretty crazy. And she had been there for a long time, you know, like she was actually decomposing in the food court when they found her. And they think that she had been there for, I think they said like 2 weeks or so. I know it sounds crazy. It's strange. Absolutely. It's strange. But, you know, this wasn't recent. This was like years ago now. And I think it was like right after they filmed season 3 of Stranger Things. What happened, man? Mr. Car Carrier parking lot guy. What happened? Did you forget you weren't supposed to get on 85? But here's Spaghetti Junction. Man, that section of the bridge right there, I know it's probably supposed to look like it has a gap, but it looks like it's about to like break in half. I'm sure it's fine, but when you look at it, it looks like it's like cracked and it's about to fall over. Man, 85 looks pretty good right now. I'm used to having to come to a dead standstill as soon as I get off of the ramp here at the interchange. It's flowing right now though, it looks good. Just going up 7.5 miles to exit 104. I forget what road that is. Pleasant Hill, maybe, I can't remember. I'm trying not to drive too fast, like I'm trying to sort of poke along and stay in the right lane so I don't get there too fast. But yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe they're not going to be too happy about me showing up 2 hours early. And that might be why my dispatcher hasn't called me back yet. But I'm gonna talk to them, and they're gonna have to pay me something to sit. If I do have to sit for another 2 hours, before I get unloaded, they're gonna have to pay me something. I'm not doing that for free. I mean, not to mention the fact that I'm probably gonna have to find somewhere to park while I'm at it, you know. Yeah, see, even 85 South on the other side, it's backed up right now. This guy in this box truck, man, passing everybody in front of him on the on-ramp. You see those red X's? That's the shoulder of the interstate, but sometimes they make it an open lane of traffic depending on how bad traffic is. I guess maybe people just started driving on the shoulder so much that they just finally said, okay, fine, you want to drive on the shoulder? Well, we'll just make it an open lane, and you won't, if you break down, you're screwed. You see that sign right there? I mean, I don't know what made them come to that conclusion or decide to turn the shoulder into a lane, but apparently they did. Right there, anyway. Yeah, it's Pleasant Hill that I'm getting off at. Yeah, I should be good in this lane. Okay, Pleasant Hill Road. We're taking, yeah, I think actually, Gwinnett Place Mall is on this exit right here. The mall I was just talking about where they found the body in the food court. It's actually right up here. We're gonna pass it in just a minute. So I'm glad I brought that up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to make a right on Satellite Boulevard and then turn left on Commerce Avenue. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna have to do. So yeah, we're gonna drive right past Gwinnett Place Mall. And I just heard a siren, but I don't know where it came from. They've got like crisscrossed bridges here. See what I mean? Like it crosses over. Alright, I still need to get in that right lane like as soon as possible. I didn't realize it was so close. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, check this out. Gwinnett Place Mall. That's where they filmed Starcourt Mall at, down there. You can't actually see it from the road, but it's down there. Right on Satellite Boulevard. Okay, left and 1 mile on Commerce Avenue. You notice how different it looks here compared to where we just were? I think we were in Fulton County, where we picked the load up, was in Fulton County. Now we're in Gwinnett County. You see the difference? There's like banners for Gwinnett Place Mall right there on those poles. And it's literally right over there. I mean, need to get in the left lane. I guess, if nothing else, if they tell me I have to leave, I might just go park in the freaking parking lot at Gwinnett Place Mall until 1 o'clock rolls around. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I'm not gonna like go to a truck stop or something. There's no truck stop around here. If I tried to go to that mall, they probably have security. They'd probably make me leave though if I tried to do that. Like find somewhere to park and then go to one of these restaurants and get some lunch while I'm waiting. Okay, this is it. Commerce Avenue. Now, from here, there's a road, it's called Evergreen Drive. And it's right off of that road, but I gotta remember to go into the second entrance. It's like the dock side of the building. The front side is four-wheeler parking, the back side is the dock, so gotta remember to go into the second entrance. Oh crap, it's on the left side. Shit. Well, I just totally got mixed up looking at that. I got my wife calling me right now. I can't answer it, I'm too indisposed at the moment. Okay, there's the four-wheeler parking, and then this should be the docks. I hope. Yeah. Here we go. So it's right there. It's at the end. And I gotta do a flip around thingy-majig. Do like a 180. And I don't know if this is gonna work. If I have enough room to do this. There is a van back there. You know, when you do this in a tractor trailer, the sharper you turn whenever you're doing a 180, like if you do it too sharp, the back of your trailer goes back. So whatever's back there, when your trailer goes back like that, you can hit it. Just so you guys, like, especially if any like new truck drivers, rookies, happen to watch this, just keep that in mind. Like whenever you're turning around, the sharper you turn that wheel, the more the back of your trailer is going to kick out when you actually flip it around. I have a metal seal on my trailer. I hate metal seals. I can't stand them. Because most of these places, they have bolt cutters because they're used to having like seals with the bolts on them. This is going to be interesting trying to do, because there's just not enough room here. I'm going to have to like get wider than that to make this cut. See, this place, it's not very tractor trailer friendly either, because there's just not a lot of room to pull up and correct yourself. You just kind of have to cut it just right. All right, I'm gonna have to watch this very closely. I have to cut it at exactly the right time, or it's not gonna work without getting too dang close to the side over here. All right, I'm on the dock. They seem pretty cool. No issue with me being early at all, so that's awesome. And I think they're gonna go ahead and take it off, so that's even better. Let's see how long this takes. It's just after 11 now, so let's see. Okay, that worked out really good, really smooth. Traffic wasn't bad. The time period at the dock getting loaded wasn't bad. They're already unloading me here, and I'm 2 hours early, so and that's really, I really don't have anything to complain about at the moment. It's going pretty good. I have to call my daughter. My wife called me when I was on my way in here. She said that my daughter's crying for me, so I have to call her. I'm about to do that.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, baby.
Thank you.
It's me.
I woke up crying for you this morning.
She just wake up? Sleep until 11 o'clock now?
It's summer. It's summer.
Well, I'm working.
Love you, Daddy.
I love you too. You'll see me in a little while, okay? Well, maybe a few hours, hopefully.
Okay.
Alright, be good. I love you.
Okay. I love you.
I love you. Bye. That's weird. She just woke up crying for me. That never happens. So yeah, guess all that's left to do is try to figure out the best way to get back without the interstate. Without it. Pleasant Hill Road runs into Ronald Reagan Parkway, which is very sketchy for a truck. I think it's legal if you're empty, but if you're loaded, you're under a certain, or you're over a certain weight, you're not allowed. But that is a very convenient road, and it will take me to 124, which will take me to 78. Where I could, you know, go to Loganville and then go down get on 81 and go down through Covington and get into McDonough that way. Okay, I gotta remember how I came in here. Because I gotta get back to Pleasant Hill Road. And then I believe it was a left on Satellite Boulevard. Yep. Nope. Wait a minute. A right on Satellite Boulevard. To get back down to Pleasant Hill Road, which I'll take that east, and that's gonna bring me up with Ronald Reagan Parkway. Take Ronald Reagan Parkway. I guess it's either east or south, and then that will take me to 124. Yeah, I was kind of dreading today. I thought it was going to be really bad. I mean, I did, like, first thing, I did have to unload and sort, like, over 1,000 cases this morning, like, first thing. But I don't ever mind doing that. That's, again, that's where my money comes from. Stuff like this, you get the mileage paid, but if you're not driving very far, and I didn't drive very far today. It's like 150 miles probably altogether. Not far. It's kind of confusing because I could turn left here, but it's gonna put me on this road that I'm not sure about. I'm not sure if I'm allowed on it. It would actually be very convenient if I could go that way, but because I'm not sure, I'm not gonna try it. There's a no truck sign right there for the entrance to the mall, but there's like 2 trucks that just came. There's one coming out and there's one going in to the mall. All right, I'm gonna get all the way over here in the left lane, because that's gonna get me back down to Pleasant Hill Road, which I'm gonna go straight across and not get on the interstate. I've been to some shows up here in Gwinnett Arena. I saw the band Tool like 2 times at the same place. It was Gwinnett Arena. So you gotta think, like, with a band that big, I guess they just didn't want to take any venues in Atlanta, and well, it was probably too expensive. I don't know. I mean, they could have came to, like, that was back when the Georgia Dome was still around. They could have had a show at the Georgia Dome, but I guess they just like the venue, Gwinnett Arena. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice building, but yeah, I mean, it's the biggest show I've ever been to, the biggest concert I've ever been to. And I saw them twice. I saw them like right after their album 10,000 Days came out, if you guys know anything about Tool. So that was like 2006 or 2007, and then I saw them a couple years after that. I have mixed feelings about that band that I won't get into, but yeah, I remember being up here for those shows, and it was somewhere around here. I think it might be a little bit further north up I-85, but it's not far from here. What? What's the matter? I don't seem like the type that would go to a metal concert. Well, there's a lot you don't know about me, okay? It was really good though. I mean, they're like so good live. Freaking Danny Carey, the drummer, man. It's awesome. Awesome, like visual effects and stuff. Light show, all that stuff. They're basically the Pink Floyd of my generation, I think. They're not like Pink Floyd, but they're like on the same level as Pink Floyd, I think. And they take their live performances just as serious as Pink Floyd did. Of course, if you want to talk about that band, my ex-brother-in-law, who's older, he's probably like in his 60s now, maybe his late 50s or something, but he claims that he went to every single Pink Floyd show. Like every time they went on tour, when they came out with a new album, he went to every single show. And that's crazy because Pink Floyd has a lot of albums. Yeah, he's like, I went to, which I don't know, Pink Floyd had an early start. And they were around for a while before they actually got popular in the States. They had I'm thinking they probably had a few albums out before they actually went on a world tour, you know? Because they started out not very big. I think their smash album, like, I mean, I could be wrong, but maybe Dark Side of the Moon is when they like blew up. But he said he went to that tour. He said he went to the Animals tour, The Wall, Division Bell. I don't even know all their albums, but he claims that he went to all of them. And like the Animals tour, he said it was crazy. They had like these huge inflatables that like were on zip lines, and they just came like streaming over the audience. It sounds interesting, I know that. I think I want to be in the right lane anyway. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, I haven't talked to him in a long time. He's my ex-brother-in-law, so I don't talk to him anymore, but it was pretty cool to listen to him talk about it and describe what it was like to be there. Which that Tool concert was, gosh, there were so many people there. There was probably like over 100,000 people at both of those shows. I mean, they're not unknown. They're pretty freaking popular. Yeah, I don't know what got me into talk. Oh yeah, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent about music and concerts and all that stuff, but yeah. So we did what I wanted to do. We're on Pleasant Hill now. Now there should be, in a couple of miles, I would think, we should have a turnoff for Ronald Reagan Parkway. See, I've been through here before, and the last time I came through here, I was under the impression that I wasn't allowed on that road at all. So I ended up having to go way out of my way to get to 124. Because all I saw was the no trucks, you know, the red circle with the stripe going through it with the truck. That's all I saw. But if you read closer, it says like over a certain gross vehicle weight, and I'm pretty sure that as long as I'm in a day cab and I'm empty, I'm under that limit. I saw another day cab get on the road. As I was passing it up thinking, man, I'm gonna have to go way out of my way, I was watching another truck get on the road. Okay, this is actually the city of Lilburn right here. I didn't realize that. There's so many cities in Gwinnett County, it's hard to keep track of where you are. They're all pretty big and they're all right next to each other. There's not a lot of open space between them. Okay, but our next interchange or intersection, whatever, is Ronald Reagan. I'm gonna have to take another good look at this sign, because with my tractor and my trailer empty, I can't be much more than 30,000 pounds. I just can't. Okay, it says over 36,000. I'm definitely not 36,000 pounds. So I'm good. They pull me over and want me to open up the trailer, I can do that. I haven't been on this road in a long time. I've never been on this road in a truck before. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've been on this road. It's really, if you're familiar with Langford Parkway in Atlanta, it's kind of similar, but it's nicer. Like, it's not as beat up and run down. But yeah, it's convenient, that's for sure. It's very convenient. We're gonna be on it for 6.5 miles. Just a little expressway, mainly designed for cars. When we come out on the other side, we're gonna be right there at 124, and then right there at 78. So this should work pretty good. There's probably gonna be a lot of traffic on 78 though. Okay, so in some areas there might be more open space in Gwinnett County than what I give it credit for. But not much. I mean, look at it on satellite. Okay, we're coming up on that right turn for 124. This is kind of cool though. We're back on, or we're about to be back on the same road that I was filming from my first video when we were on 124, and we're going to 78, but this time instead of turning right and heading toward Stone Mountain, we're going to be turning left and headed toward Loganville. So you'll get to see the other side of 78, like we were going toward Athens. This is where I need to turn. So like I said, a lot of traffic on 78 right now. We're gonna be going east for probably a good 15 miles or so until we get to Highway 81. When we get on 81, the traffic will die back down considerably. Look how they got their intersections like crisscross right here. It's really confusing. Okay, you're not allowed to block the lane. There's a road over here to our right. It's called Lenora Church Road. And I don't know if trucks are allowed on that road or not. Just getting access to that road is a little confusing since they upgraded everything around here. Henry Clover Boulevard. I guess you could take that Henry Clover Boulevard to get there, but we just passed it. And see, Lenora, if I could take Lenora Church Road, then I could get to Georgia Highway 20 in North Rockdale County, like Conyers, and go back that way, and it would be faster, but I don't know if I'm allowed on Lenora Church Road or not. Something tells me that I'm not, though. So, I don't know. It would be cool to go that way because there's some interesting countryside out that way too, between Gwinnett and Rockdale County. But yeah, this is 78 on the eastbound side headed toward Athens. We're gonna take it all the way to Loganville, and then like I said, we're gonna get on Highway 81 and go south down through Walnut Grove, Oxford, Covington, Porterdale, and finally McDonough. Okay guys, screw it, I just changed my mind. I'm not gonna go the 81 way, and this might be a mistake, but it'll probably be fine, honestly. I am gonna get on 20 because I forgot Georgia 20 intersects with 78 right here. See, those other roads I was talking about back there, Lenora Church Road, Henry Clover Boulevard, those are shortcuts to get to 20, but if you're in a truck, you can get to 20 like this. And see, I'm gonna turn right up here. Instead of continuing to go straight, I'm gonna turn right at like the next intersection and take Georgia 20 all the way back down through like Rockdale County. I'm gonna try to go I'm gonna try and see if I can go through like Old Town Conyers, and I'm thinking maybe West Avenue to Stanton Road, because I think trucks are allowed on Stanton Road. I'm pretty sure they are, but that'll get me to 138, and see, 138 will get me to 155, which will take me to McDonough, and I can go that way, and I've never done that before, so I don't see why it would be a problem. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Stanton Road is good. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I'm trying to think if there's any other way I could possibly go without having to go like straight through Conyers. I'm trying to like work it all out in my head, like the formula. I'm just trying to work it out in my head, like I'm just thinking. There's like one turn that's standing out in my head. It's a right turn. It's in Old Town Conyers that I don't know if I'll be able to make in this thing. But I don't think it would be an issue because there are a lot of trucks on those roads, and I don't really see any reason to be too concerned about it. Now, there probably is a specific truck route, especially going through Old Town Conyers, but I don't think it would be that difficult to figure it out on the fly, because I know those roads pretty good. I know I'm allowed on West Avenue, and I know that from West Avenue I can get to Stanton Road, which will take me to 138. This will be cool because I'll get to show you something that I haven't done before. I'm actually from Conyers, so I grew up there, born and raised, so I know a lot about the place. And I don't ever go there anymore. I don't ever have any reason to go there. All right, we'll just play it by ear and see what comes along. Okay, I gotta pay attention because my turnoff is a mile up here on the left. Don't want to miss it. No, it's cool that I'm going this way because I can show you guys part of my childhood. This is Rockdale County. I just never really thought about coming through here in the truck before. I guess whoa, dude, you're making me nervous. I guess I just always thought it would be simple. It is simpler, or more simple, to go down through Covington to get to McDonough than it is to go through Conyers. And there's less traffic, so this is more inconvenient, but it's also cool to do it at least once. I'm not in a hurry today, so I had a nice easy day. Might as well do a little bit of exploring on my way back. Oh, this is cool. Okay. So we're still on Georgia 20, and this is gonna take us down to like Sigmund Road, which part of that is also Highway 20. But I actually have a lot of fond childhood memories in this area. Like, I have family that lives over here. It's like down here on the left, and I actually lived there with them for a little while when I was a kid. My parents were like going through a divorce, and my mom and my sisters, we all lived over there, and they have like a farm. They have a lot of land. And then later on in life, in my late teens, I worked there's like a gas station with a bait shop and stuff over here, and I worked at that place for a few years. They didn't pay me hardly anything to work there. I worked in the bait shop and I worked in the kitchen. I never worked the register though, but I was like the janitor. I cleaned the place up, sold produce and bait, and cooked in the kitchen. And I only worked one day a week. I worked Saturdays, but I would work for like 20 hours from the time it opened to the time it closed. Actually, before it opened and then after it closed, I was like cleaning up for a couple of hours afterwards. But it's this gas station right here on the right, the Marathon. Yeah, I worked there for a while, long time. And then the family that I'm talking about that lives over here, they live like to the left, this road on the left up here. That one. I haven't been out here in a long time. And like seriously, I don't recall ever coming this way in a truck. I just hit a tree branch, or it wasn't a branch, it was like a stick sticking out in the road. Now as we get like closer to Conyers on this road, there's another small town, it's called Milstead, that will kind of go around. Yeah, just being on this road, it brings back so many memories. Now the way that I would like to go would be straight, like if you go down far enough, which you'll see the intersection in a minute that I'm talking about, but Rockdale Hospital is right there, and that's where 20 and Sigmund Road intersect. And I would like to just go straight through that traffic light and continue toward Old Town Conyers, but I don't know if trucks are allowed on that road, and it's not like industrial or any, it's pretty much residential straight up, and it goes into Old Town Conyers. So without going through there in a car first and checking it out, I don't know if I should try to go through there in the truck. But there is another way that I can get to West Avenue, the road I was talking about. If I turn right at that light down there where the hospital is and go down a couple miles, there's another road on the left, and it's like a industrial road. There's a lot of warehouses and stuff on it, and that goes to West Avenue too. So pretty sure that I can go that way if need be. I just can't remember what it's called. But as soon as I get to West Avenue, I can take that across Interstate 20 and jump on Stanton Road. And I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be able to take that road, because it's not a highway, but it's not small. It is residential, but it's not like a neighborhood, you know? It's a pretty wide road, and I don't think it would be a problem to take it. It's a good way to get to 138, which is where we need to be. And I keep forgetting that the speed limit on this road is 45. It seems like it should be 55, but it's 45. Dang, we're only a mile away from Sigmund Road now. Okay, that town, Milstead, it's like right over here on the left side. And that road right there, if you weren't in a truck, you could take that road and it would take you over to 138, like north of the commercial part of Conyers. And to get to Milstead, you just take a left in there, and that's like the back way to get into Milstead. The GPS wants me to turn left up here, but I don't want to go through the commercial part of Conyers. I'd just rather not do that. So I'm trying to find an alternate way to go. And this is the light I was talking about. The hospital's right there. If you kept going straight, you'd go to Old Town Conyers. I'm gonna turn right. And try to bypass this way, like going in this direction. Man, it's been a while since I've been over here. This is the middle school that I went to in like 6th grade, Conyers Middle. I went to school there. Okay, the next questionable thing that I'm considering is there's 2 different ways that I can think of to get to West Avenue from here. Now there's an intersection coming up with a road, it's called Irwin Bridge Road, and that will take you to West Avenue, but I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to be on that road or not. Again, it's like it's residential, but it's like government housing area. So I'm not 100% positive if I'm allowed on that road or not. I really don't know. So I might just keep going straight through this light right here and then go down to the next light where, yeah, I'm gonna keep going straight. I don't see any no truck signs though. I'm gonna come down to Old Covington Highway. That's what it's called. And I'm gonna turn left and take Old Covington Highway to West Avenue. Because I know I'm good on that road. It's like completely industrial. Alright, this is Old Covington Highway right here. It's also 278, US 278. I know I can be on this road. Oh, this is part of the Georgia Civil War Heritage Trails. I guess that makes sense. That it would be. Now, if you stay on this road, you'll actually, this is probably the truck route that goes through Old Town Conyers right here, because if you stay on it, it turns into Green Street, which goes straight through Old Town. So if you were in a truck and you wanted to go through Old Town Conyers, you'd probably take this road, Green Street, to get there. But all the other roads around it, I'm not really sure about. But this one seems like it makes the most sense that a truck could go through Old Town Conyers on this road. Ultimately, it just leads right back out to 138, like the main part of Conyers. But we're gonna turn right up here on West Avenue. And I'm hoping that, you know, when we come to Stanton Road, there won't be any no truck signs. I'm really hoping. If there are, then, well, I'll just have to turn around and figure out another way. There's lots of ways. There's a place that used to be over somewhere around in this area. It might still be here. Yeah, It's right next to us on the right. BioLab. They make like different kinds of chemicals and stuff. And on one day back in like 2004, I think it was, they had a huge chemical fire at that place. And I mean, you could see that it was like, it made like a toxic cloud, and you could see it for like tens of square miles around. Like you could see it everywhere, and it looked hideous. Like, I'm talking about like noxious chemicals burning into the atmosphere, you know. That happened back in like 2004, I think. But it was bad. I mean, it affected stuff environmentally. I remember when that happened. It was crazy. There's a steep grade right there with a railroad track. You get stuck if you try to go over that in a truck. I'm pretty stubborn and pretty determined. I just want to see if I can get away with doing this. I'd probably never try it again. I don't have any reason to come this way. It's a lot easier to go through Covington. But like, I have to turn right at this intersection right here if I'm gonna do what I want to do. And it's not very wide right here. It's kind of narrow. I might actually have to use the left turning lane to do this. I can't tell how wide it doesn't look very wide at all. It looks super, yeah, that's like ridiculously narrow. Gonna work. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I made it. I always remembered this road being bigger than it is. It's not that big. Crossing over 20. that I'm talking about turns into Stanton Road. See, it's pretty wide. It's almost like a state highway. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to drive on it. But it's all like residential right here. Gosh, I have not been through here in so long. But this is like one of those roads. You ever been on one of those roads like you spent a considerable percentage of your childhood on it? Like riding in the, it was like before you were able to drive, you were riding with your parents or whatever, and they would always take a certain road, but then when you grew up and started driving yourself, you just didn't take the road anymore, and you hadn't been on it since you were a kid. Well, that's what this road is like for me. And actually, I have a crazy story for you that's related to this road that we're about to turn on now, Ebenezer Road. I thought that this was Stanton Road, but apparently it must turn into Stanton Road on the other side of 138 where we're turning right. But my uncle, my dad's brother, he's paraplegic, and it's really messed up what happened to him, what caused him to be paralyzed. But he was walking on this road, actually down here. I'll show you where it happened at. And it was not long after I was born. I was born in like 1985. But he was walking down this road, and there was I don't know if it was like Conyers police officer or Rockdale sheriff driving down the road, and they were intoxicated. Like the cop was drunk, driving drunk, and he hit somebody, and somehow or another the engine came out of his car, and it like hit my uncle, and it messed him up really bad, and he ended up, you know, losing his ability to walk and everything. But he's actually kind of famous in a way, because he's been in the Paralympics, and he's a marksman. He's in the NRA, and he's like, he could be a freaking sniper. If he wasn't paralyzed, he's so accurate with a rifle that he could be a freaking sniper. But yeah, I mean, he's won awards in the Paralympics before with marksmanship, and it happened like right back behind us on that hill that we just came down. Yeah, this is good for a truck. I was kind of worried there for a minute because it'd been so long since I've been through here, but there's no reason why a truck couldn't do that. And see, 138's right here, so we're gonna turn right. So yeah, I was just trying to figure out an alternate way to get to 155 without having to go through Conyers, like the city part that's always really busy. So that was pretty cool. That was cool that I was able to show you that. But yeah, his name's David, my uncle, David Blevins. And he's actually, you know, his story is kind of inspirational. Like, he used to go around to the different schools and stuff, and he would give like motivational speeches, because it's so messed up what happened to him, you know. It sucks. Like, there's an intoxicated police officer getting into an accident, you know, hitting somebody else, causing a vehicle accident, and then not only that, you get the he like just got caught in the crossfire, you know what I'm saying? He was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and that's what happened to him. But it ended up that, you know, he still became successful with what he did, you know. He's so good with a rifle that he was in the Olympics for it. He actually went to Barcelona. No joke. I mean, I'm not joking. I'm serious. It's pretty cool. Okay, now that we're on 138 and we're going south, I'm gonna turn left at an intersection up here that's actually 155, and I'm gonna take it all the way to well, basically all the way back to my job. Well, actually, you know what, I probably shouldn't do that, come to think of it. Just trying to think. It's probably not the right time of day. They just totally pulled out in front of me. Did you see that? It's probably not the best time of the day to go the way that I'm thinking about going. It's probably not a good idea to do that, so I'll have to figure something else out. I think I know what I'm gonna do, actually. I'm gonna, instead of getting on 155, I'm gonna drive up here to 42, 23, 42, turn left. Once I get to Stockbridge, I'm gonna turn left, and then I'm gonna take the McDonough bypass road over back to Georgia 20 and just go that way to get back, because yeah, I think that's the best option. I'll show you all that stuff when we get up there. But all right, be back in a minute. Okay guys, still on 138, but we're about to make a left turn onto 42, 23. Okay, now we're at US 23 State Route 42, and we're turning left off of 138. Now this is going to take you south toward the Eagles Landing area and then eventually McDonough Square. But I found a really cool road that I didn't know about until I got to exploring one day. Now, we haul Premier lease trailers, and being, you know, based out of McDonough, the closest Premier trailer leasing center is in, I guess it's considered Lake City, because it's right there where that delivery I made is in my first video that I made. And so that requires that a lot of times we end up having to go pick trailers up from the place. And when we do that, the normal thing to do would just be get on 75 North, jump on 675 North, go to exit 5, Forest Parkway, and go that way to get it. But I had to go pick up about 3 of them one day, just back to back to back. And I didn't want to get on the interstate, so I was trying to figure out a good way to get over here, you know, over to 138 from 155 over there in McDonough on the, you know, the Griffin side of 155. So I got to hunting around and I was like, surely, you know, there's got to be a better option than the interstate, but then also a better option than going through McDonough Square, because that, you know, you can go through McDonough Square, but you don't really want to do that during most hours of the day because there's so much traffic, right? So there's actually a road, and I think it's just called the bypass road. It's like McDonough bypass, and it gives you access from Highway 20, which on the 75 side of that, Highway 20 is like one exit up from 155. So there is a kind of a back road that I can take to link me from 155 to Highway 20. But it wasn't until that particular day I was talking about that I realized there's another road that links Highway 20 with 2342. And it's the McDonough bypass. And I'm about to show it to you, and that'll be the last thing I show you in this video. But it's really convenient, it's really cool. I talked a lot of crap about McDonough and all their no truck restricted roads that they don't want you on, which most of them are like that, but this is one road in particular where I think they pretty much custom designed it for trucks. Like they had trucks in mind when they did this, and it's actually a big relief to have. I should have went around this guy, but that right lane's about to end up here at the top of this hill, so I might as well just stay behind him now. But I'm going to show it to you. It's, if you're on this side of it versus the Highway 20 side of it, it's going to be on your right. Like if you're on US 23 headed south toward McDonough Square, this road is going to be on your right before you get to the square. And it's really cool how it links this road with Highway 20. And it works out really good for me because of where my warehouse is located at. It ends up working out really good, and there's not usually a whole lot of traffic on the bypass road. You'll see when we get up there, you'll see it. Okay, the road I'm talking about, it's just called McDonough Parkway, and it's right here as you start coming back up this hill. But this is such a cool road. I mean, there's nothing special about it, but it's awesome that it exists because it's a major shortcut. So if you I gotta yield to them. If you need a quick way to jump over to 138 from over here off of Georgia 20 or Georgia 155, you can take this road, and I'll show you where it comes out at. Super convenient, and it's shared. I mean, it's not like specifically for trucks, but the fact that trucks can take advantage of it is awesome. It really shortens the amount of time that you spend on the road when you're trying to get around in McDonough, because there's so much traffic here. And this road, I guess maybe it's partially lesser known unless you're a local or something, but I don't typically see many trucks getting on this road. I think the only truck I've ever seen on this road is like a FedEx truck. But that's a route driver, you know, so of course they're gonna know about this road. But look, we're crossing over Jonesboro Road right now. If you turn right and went west, you would come to I-75. And it's like a few exits up from 155. But as you can see, there's not that much traffic. Look at all the cross traffic on Jonesboro Road. And now look at all the traffic that's on this road. It's not that much compared to the other roads. And I love that. It's like a little secret or something. Shh, don't tell anybody. But yeah, I love finding stuff like this because it's just, it makes me feel better about the work that I have to do. It makes it easier, more convenient, and it makes me feel good for, you know, all my research and just studying the roads and everything. When I find a road like this, I know that the work that I'm putting into my research is paying off, and I'm actually accomplishing something by studying the roads. Now, my content in my videos, like, I am a truck driving channel, but more than anything, more than a truck driving channel, I think I'm I'm like a road obsessing channel. Like I'm like an encyclopedia for roads in Georgia, because I'm always talking about them and where they go, and that's just become my thing. I like to do that. I like to talk about roads. I like to explore, show you new stuff. There's nothing special about this road. It's just a road. It's got a school on it. And it links up basically all the exits that you see on I-75 when you're like between Stockbridge and Locust Grove. This road right here links up all those exit roads. And it's not called bypass, it's called McDonough Parkway. But in a mile from here, we're gonna be at Highway 20. And then I'm gonna turn right. I'm gonna go over I-75 to Westridge Parkway. I'm gonna turn left and go south, and then come to 155, and then I'll be right there at my job. So the biggest portion of the traffic is going to be up here on Highway 20 trying to cross over 75. But that's normal. I mean, it's always bad right there. I can't use any of the crossroads that would eliminate the traffic that I would potentially sit in if I had to get on 155 to get to my job. But I can take advantage of this road because this is one of the only roads in McDonough that's not restricted to trucks, besides 155 and 20 and 81. It's like the only non-highway road that you're actually allowed on. And this is a right turn up here. It might be another one of those turns that's kind of tight for me, kind of like when I made that right turn on West Avenue back there in Conyers. I don't think I've done it with a trailer yet, but I'm about to. But yeah, this is 20/81 right here that we're about to turn onto. Alright, come on, let's go before they start lining up and I run out of room. That's not bad at all. Yeah, I don't know that I would make that right turn again, like the one I made on West Avenue back there. That was pretty sketchy. I mean, I came up on the curb quite a bit. I wasn't just on the curb, I was on the sidewalk. I didn't hit anything, but I did drive over the sidewalk right there because there just wasn't enough room to make the turn. But I pulled it off pretty smoothly, I think. I mean, it was ugly, but it worked. But I don't know that I would do that again. Probably not, just because. But I'm glad I got to show it to you. Glad I filmed it. There's another road right there that might link up with 155. It probably does. Yeah, it does. Industrial Boulevard. So trucks are probably allowed on that road too. It goes to 155, but it's on this side of 75, so I don't want to go that way. If you go that way, you're just gonna find yourself in the thick of the worst traffic on 155. So my battery might die on my camera pretty soon. If it does, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this or found anything out of it at all that you appreciate, please leave a like on the video so that my channel can grow and get the algorithm's attention on YouTube and more people can find my content. I really appreciate your view. If you like the video, thanks. It requires work to make these videos. It's not just, I'm not just driving a truck and that's it. I mean, I actually pour a considerable amount of time into the editing process of it all as well. So if anybody appreciates it, then please leave a like so that other people can find it. This is another one of those crisscross things going over the interstate, like there was on Pleasant Hill Road in Gwinnett County. I've seen accidents happen right here at this intersection. All this does is it eliminates the need for a left turn signal on a traffic light, so it kind of saves time. Oh shoot, I don't want to block it, but it is moving, slowly moving. Please come on. Blocking the intersection. Move, people, please. Yeah, I noticed that that light further up there was green. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done that. But I got out of the way just in the nick of time. And you might recognize where we are now. On 20 Westridge Parkway is coming up. That's where I'm gonna turn left, and that takes me down there to 155, which you've already seen it if you watched the first video. Okay, so thanks for watching. Again, check me out again anytime. Be right here behind the wheel showing you new stuff. All right, see you next time. God bless.